So we are going to learn about the incidence of the electromagnetic wave at some boundaries that we are going to learn. So what happened now, till now we assumed a theory that we are having a homogeneous unbounded region. That means the region will not have any boundaries, and also the medium is a homogeneous medium. That means only one single medium through which the electromagnetic wave is propagating, and what are the wave properties and how this wave is analyzed, that we have seen. But practically this would be not the case. So what happens? What happens means the wave has to cross different media while it is propagating. It has to cross different media, and suppose if it is traveling in medium 1, then after some time it has to cross this medium 1 and it has to enter into a medium 2 which is having different properties when compared with the medium 1. So these two media will meet at a place that is called the boundary. That is called the boundary. So there is a possibility of having dielectric media. So the boundary between the dielectric media of different properties, and also there is a possibility of one dielectric medium and the other is a conductive medium. So these two will form a boundary which is a different boundary and which will exhibit different properties, and the wave properties are wave power calculations will be changed when this wave crosses that such type of boundary. And dielectric, the medium 1 is also dielectric and medium 2 is also dielectric, but with different properties. In that also the boundary will have different characteristics. So now we are going to learn different boundaries between the media, and also how the wave incident the boundary. So wave can incident the boundary in two positions. One is it can incident the boundary with normal incidence. That means it will incident the boundary at 90 degrees of angle. Normal ante maamul deni kaadu. Normal means in technical words it is a perpendicular. So the wave can incident the boundary, and it will bombard the boundary or cross the boundary with an angle of 90 degrees and with an oblique incidence. It is called normal incidence, and other than the normal incidence means it will incident the boundary with some angle other than 90 degrees. That is called oblique incidence of the wave. It is called oblique incidence of the wave at the boundary. So these conditions we are going to discuss here. Now, before going into the normal incidence or oblique incidence or the incidence of the uniform plane wave at the boundary, we have to know certain terminology. Some terminology we have to know. Suppose if we consider a transmission line. You know that transmission line, our power is distributed through the transmission lines. So transmission line, we know that transmission line. And transmission line is an infinite line. It is an infinite line. So that means it is not having any lumped element. That means whatever resistance is there in the transmission line, it will be distributed along the line. And whatever elements, capacitors, inductors are existing in this transmission line, all are distributive. That means no lumped parameter. Man laboratory lo chestam kada oka resistor, capacitor, oka inductor petti aa capacitor, resistor, inductor ni lumped parameters, lumped elements antaru. Ante enti vaatilo resistance okka chote koppaga untadi. Ani distributive lines lo ala untadi. Throughout the line the resistance will be there. and we assume that we will give a name for the impedance along this transmission line is a characteristic impedance. We give a name of this impedance is a characteristic impedance. Adi next chapter lo మనం నేర్చుకుంటాం characteristic impedance. అయితే suppose if you want to terminate a transmission line, ఈ transmission line లో ఎనర్జీ ట్రాన్స్మిట్ అవుతా ఉంది, ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ లైన్లో ఎనర్జీ ట్రాన్స్మిట్ అవుతా ఉంది రెండు లైన్స్లో. అయితే వాట్ యూ వాంట్ టు డూ ఈజ్ యూ వాంట్ టు టర్మినేట్ దిస్ లైన్, ఎక్కడో చోట ఈ లైన్ని ఎండ్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాం. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు టర్మినేట్ దీస్ టూ లైన్స్ విత్ అ రెసిస్టెన్స్ ఆర్ విత్ అన్ ఇంపిడెన్స్. సో దిస్ ఇంపిడెన్స్ షుడ్ బి ఈక్వల్ టు దిస్ Z0. So this impedance is called ZL, load impedance, and load impedance should be equal to the characteristic impedance. Then only the maximum power will be transferred. This is the maximum power transfer theorem will work here. So maximum power will be transferred here, and if the proper termination is not done, that means if Z0 is not equal to ZL, if Z0 is not equal to ZL, so the total energy will not be absorbed by this load. Transmission line lo total energy should be absorbed by this load. If Z0 is not equal to ZL, then the total energy will not be absorbed by this load. Some part of the energy will be reflected back. So that energy is nothing but reflected wave. That energy will be in the form of wave, and it is called as reflected wave. That means only part of the energy will be dissipated here. So this already incident energy will go and reflected energy will come. Both of these will create a phenomena which is called standing waves. Which is called standing waves. So we are talking about the plane dielectric boundary. So this is the boundary between two media. So this is one dielectric medium and this is the other dielectric medium, and the merging point is called the boundary. So here it is an bounded region. It is not an unbounded region, it is a bounded region. And here we can observe this, and this is at the point Z equal to 0, Z is coming out of the plane. That you have to consider. And here this is the boundary, and your wave will propagate in this direction. Here this is medium 1, and medium 1 will have the constituent parameters. That means medium will itself will have some parameters, which is epsilon 1. That means epsilon means permittivity, permeability, conductivity, and this is intrinsic impedance. And medium 2 also will have the same parameters with different values. And here we can observe one thing, that the medium 1 is with the impedance of eta 1, and medium 2 is with the impedance of eta 2. When eta 1 is not equal to eta 2, then there will be a very chance of reflection of the wave. A very chance of reflection of the wave. Reflection of the wave. Reflection of the wave. So when it is improperly matched, when it is not perfectly matched, then some energy will be reflected back, that we have seen. So what is the reason for the reflection of the wave? Suppose there is a wave which will incident the boundary. The wave will have electric field as well as the magnetic field. So this is the wave which is in the forward direction. So when it incidences the boundary, So only some part of the energy will transmit into the other medium, but some part of the energy or wave will be reflected back. What is the reason for this reflection? Mismatch of the impedances. The reason for this reflection is mismatch of the impedances. If the impedance is same, no reflection will take place. That will happen in homogeneous medium. That means the medium is equal in everywhere, in each and every portion of the medium. That is called homogeneous. But this is not the homogeneous medium. This is the medium which is having two different characteristics. So we consider that this is medium 1 and this is medium 2, while your wave is propagating. So when the boundary occurs, then some part of the energy will be reflected back. And when this energy is reflected back, some part of the energy will transmit into the medium. So that is represented with ET and HT. And electric field and transmitted wave electric energy, electric field intensity, and transmitted wave magnetic field intensity, that we will see here. Now we have seen. So here we are considering the normal incidence of the wave at the dielectric boundary. The case is normal incidence of the wave at a dielectric boundary. What this dielectric boundary says, that the two media are dielectrics and they will form a boundary, and this is the wave which will incident normally. That is the case we are dealing with. Now we can write that what is the medium 1 side is incident wave plus reflected wave will give transmitted wave. So medium 1 will consider is having incident wave and reflected wave, and medium 2 is having transmitted wave. So sorry, it is medium 1. So what is the electric field in the medium 1? That the incident wave plus reflected wave is nothing but the field in the medium 1. In the same way, incident magnetic field, reflected magnetic field will give the magnetic field in medium 1. Next, what is the wave in the medium 2? The medium 2 will have a transmitted electric field, that is the field in medium 2, and we will have H2 bar, which is nothing but transmitted magnetic field. Now, so what components will cross the boundary? That we have to see. Here Z equal to 0. Here Z equal to 0. That means at this point the Z axis value is going to be 0. Now what happens? Only we know, already we have seen that boundary conditions, we dealt with boundary conditions. In boundary conditions we have seen that electric field tangential component and magnetic field tangential components only will cross the boundary. So only tangential components will be continuous across the boundary, no normal components. So in this field, in this case, only tangential components will be continuous. That means E1 tangential bar must be equal to E2 tangential bar. That means whatever tangential component of electric field in medium 1 will transfer to the, it will be transferred as a tangential component of the electric field of medium 2. Next, the same thing happens with the magnetic field also. So, H1 tangential must be equal to H2 tangential. So, this is the two equations we have to find. Next, we know that EI bar plus ER bar is equal to ET bar. Why am I writing this means EI bar and ER bar, they are in the same direction. They are in the same direction. So they will mix up to give ET bar. That means electric field in the second medium will be resultant of these two fields. Next, in the same way, HI bar plus HR bar will give HT bar. And I am considering one way HI bar in this direction and HR bar is in that. I am not considering the sign convention, but addition of these two vectors will give this. Addition of these two vectors will give this. Now, we know the relation between amplitudes of the electric field and magnetic field, and electric field magnitude and magnetic field magnitude will give a quantity which is called intrinsic impedance eta. So if you want to find H, what will be H? So H should be equal to E by eta. H should be equal to E by eta. Now what is EI? What is EI? I will drop this. What is EI? And incident wave electric field magnitude is equal to eta 1, first medium intrinsic impedance, into HI. Can I write like this? Next, what is ER? What is the electric field component magnitude ER? ER is going to be minus eta 1 HR. Why I have taken minus? Because it is a reflected wave. It is opposite to the incident wave. So I am taking the magnitudes. So I have taken the negative sign. And reflected wave is also related to the medium 1. That is the reason why we will get eta 1 HR. Eta 1 HR. And what about ET? Magnitude of transmitted wave. ET is going to be eta to HT. Eta to HT. So these are the equations. Now we will have one thing. EI plus ER is equal to ET, and HI plus HR is equal to HT. You will have these two equations. ఈ రెండు equations మనకు తెలుసు. Now we will take this as the standard equation, equation number 1. We will take it as a standard equation, equation number 1. Now I want to write this in terms of E. So how I can write what is HI? HI is equal to EI by eta 1. I will write this. EI by eta 1. Next, what is HR? HR is going to be EI by eta 1. And what is HT? HT is equal to ET by eta 2. It's equal to ET by eta 2. So EI minus ER is equal to eta 1 by eta 2 into et, which is equation number 2. Which is equation number 2. Which is equation number 2. Next, if I want to solve these two equations, so what I will get here, to get EI, so to get ET by EI and ER by EI, ఈ రెండు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి. దీనివల్ల మనకు ఒక ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వస్తుంది. సో నా సాల్వింగ్ దీస్ టూ ఈక్వేషన్స్, EI plus ER is equal to ET and EI minus ER is equal to eta 1 by eta 2 ET. If I add these two, what I get? EI is right. If I cancel, I will get 2EI is equal to 1 plus eta 1 by eta 2 into ET. So what is EI? EI is equal to eta 2 plus eta 1 by 2 eta 2 ET. Now ET by EI is equal to 2 eta 2 by eta 1 plus eta 2. This is called transmission coefficient small tau, which is called transmission coefficient small tau. That is transmission coefficient. Transmission coefficient, which is represented as tau, small tau. So I got one transmission coefficient. I will write here transmission coefficient is equal to ET by, that means transmitted wave by incident wave, electric field of transmitted wave by incident wave, 2 eta 2 by eta 1 plus eta 2. This is one thing I will rub off. Next, so we know that EI plus ER, EI plus ER is equal to ET, and if I write ET in terms of EI, if I write ET in terms of EI, what I will get? ET in terms of EI, so EI plus ET is equal to 2 eta 2 by eta 1 plus eta 2 EI is equal to, sorry, I have to find the ER. I have to find the ER. So ER and EI. So I should write ET in terms of EI. So I have to write ET in terms of EI. So EI plus ER is equal to, what is ET? EI into 2 eta 2 by eta 1 plus eta 2. Now, if I take this EI to that side, ER is equal to EI into 2 eta 2 by eta 1 plus eta 2 minus 1 will come. So what is the answer of this? this answer is going to be EI into 2 eta 2 minus eta 1 minus eta 2 by eta 1 plus eta 2. So this is going to be E R is equal to EI into eta 2 minus eta 1 by eta 2 plus eta 1. So ER by EI, that means electric field of the reflected wave by electric field of the incident wave will give the value eta 2 minus eta 1 by eta 2 plus eta 1, which is called as capital tau, and this is called reflection coefficient. This is called reflection coefficient. And we are having another quantity which is called capital tau, which is nothing but ER by EI, whose value is eta 2 minus eta 1 by eta 2 plus eta 1, which is called the reflection coefficient. So what is the relation between these two? Now we are going to see what is the relation between these two. What is the relation between these two? That we are going to see now. So 1 plus tau is going to be small tau. That means 1 plus reflection coefficient is equal to transmission coefficient, and we can get it very easily. So 1 plus eta 2 by eta 2 minus eta 1 by eta 2 plus eta 1. So if you take LCM, eta 2 plus eta 1 plus eta 2 minus eta 1 by eta 2 plus eta 1. So what I will get? I will get 2 eta 2 by eta 2 plus eta 1, which is nothing but tau, small tau. So 1 plus reflection coefficient will give the transmission coefficient. That is the important result of these equations. And also next thing is, and this reflection coefficient capital tau will be between 0 and 1, and this capital tau will be between 0 and 1. That is the second result. And third one, they are dimensionless. They don't have the units. They are dimensionless, and they may be the complex quantities. And so these are the results of an electromagnetic wave or uniform plane wave crossing a dielectric boundary. So now we will see the energy relations of this. So we small tau is equal to 2 eta 2 by eta 1 plus eta 2, and capital tau is equal to reflection coefficient is equal to eta 2 minus eta 1 by eta 2 plus eta 1. So you have to remember these two. They are very, very important, and you don't get confused while you are writing or while you are dealing. Now we are going to learn the energy relations. So according to the Poynting theorem, what is the average power is going to be? Average power is going to be 1 by 2 Em square by eta watts per meter square. So what is this average power density? Average power density by the pointing theorem. Already మనం నేర్చుకున్నాం pointing theorem. So pointing theorem says that average power density of a wave will be 1 by 2 Em square by eta. That is the power density. So now I want to find average power density of an incident wave. What is the average power density of an incident wave? So Pi average. This is going to be half into Ei square divided by eta 1. Ei square divided by eta 1 watt per meter square. Next, in the same way, PR average will be half into ER square by eta 1 watt per meter square. And what is PT average? Transmitted wave power density is going to be half ET square by eta 2. ఈ రెండిట్లో డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి? ఇది మీడియం 1లో కాబట్టి ఈటా 1, ఇది కూడా మీడియం 1లో కాబట్టి ఈటా 1, ఇది మీడియం 2లో కాబట్టి ఇది ఈటా 2. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ డిఫరెన్స్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్, ద రేషియో ఆఫ్ పవర్ ట్రాన్స్మిటెడ్ టు పవర్ ఇన్సిడెంట్ ఈస్ గివెన్ బై, అంటే PT యావరేజ్ బై PI యావరేజ్. The ratio of power transmitted to the power incident, PT average by PI average. తీసుకుంటే ఏమొస్తుంది? What is PT average by PI average? That is going to be half of will be cancelled. I will write it. T square by eta 2 by half into Ei square by eta 1. Half will be cancelled, and this is going to be Et square by Ei square into eta 1 by eta 2. This is the equation. Next, now if I take the ratio of PR average, that is reflected power to the incident power. So if I want to know PR average to the PI average, what I will get? What is PR average? That is nothing but half into ER square by eta 1 by half into Ei square eta 1. Both are same. So this will be cancelled, this will be cancelled. This is going to be ER square by Ei square. Now, if I add these two, what I will get? If I add these two, what I will get? So, if I add these two, what is my answer? Eta 1 by eta 2 into Et square by Ei square plus ER square by Ei square. So what is ET by Ei square? Transmission coefficient. What is ER by ET? It is nothing but reflection coefficient. What is the value of transmission coefficient? What is the value of transmission coefficient? Eta. What is the value of transmission coefficient? Charging. What is the value of transmission coefficient is going to be, you just remember what is the value of transmission coefficient, a small tau, 2 eta 2 by eta 1 plus eta 2. This is whole square. plus what is the reflection coefficient is going to be eta 2 minus eta 1 by eta 2 plus eta 1 whole square. So if you calculate this, we will get charging method, right? So this will be equal to 2 eta 1 eta 2 2 eta 1 by eta 2 into ఇది 4 eta 2 square divided by eta 1 plus eta 2 whole square plus ఇది వచ్చేటప్పటికి eta 2 square plus eta 1 square minus 2 eta 1 eta 2 divided by eta 1 plus eta 2 whole square. So this is going to be cancelled. 4 eta 1 eta 2 plus eta 2 square plus eta 1 square minus 2 eta 1 eta 2 by eta 1 plus eta 2 whole square. So 4 eta 1 eta 2 minus 2 eta 1 eta 2 will give 2 eta 1 eta 2. So eta 2 square plus eta 1 square plus 2 eta 1 eta 2 by eta 1 plus eta 2 whole square. So this will give 1. So this will give the above numerator can be written as eta 1 plus eta 2 whole square. Already denominator is also eta 1 plus eta 2 whole square. So this will give 1. What does it mean? So what is the value for which this value? Here PT average by PI average plus PR average by PI average is equal to 1. We got this. So transmitted average power plus reflected average power will be equal to incident average power, which is an important relation. Next we will do one problem, and with this our 4th chapter in AMTL will be completed. So now we are going to do a problem in this plane normal incidence at plane dielectric boundary. So I will read the problem and you follow my voice. If you can't see the letter also, you can adjust. Determine the amplitudes of reflected and transmitted fields at the interface of two regions. If EI is equal to incident electric field is 1.5 millivolts per milli kaadu, millivolts per meter, in region for which epsilon r equal to 8.5, mu r equal to 1 and sigma equal to 0. So what are the two regions? And region 2 is a free space. రెండు రీజియన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఒక రీజియన్ ఏమో ఫ్రీ స్పేస్, ఒక రీజియన్ ఏమో ఇట్ ఈస్ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియం whose epsilon r1 is equal to 8.5 and mu relative permeability is 1 and sigma 1 is not given, sigma and sigma 0 and sigma is given 0. Very good. Here sigma is given 0 and eta 1 you have to find, that is intrinsic impedance you have to find. And what are the values of region 2? Because it is a free space, eta 2 will be root of mu naught by epsilon naught. Its value will be 120 pi ohms or 377 ohms approximately. So what is epsilon 2 is going epsilon r2. Epsilon r2 for free space will be 1 and mu r1 will be 1 and so on. So if we don't want all these values, but what we have to calculate is eta 1. Eta 1 మాత్రమే calculate చేయాలి. ఎందుకని? Because our transmission coefficient and reflection coefficient is having eta 1 and eta 2. ఆ రెండు వాల్యూస్ వస్తే మనం లెక్క చేయటం వస్తుంది అన్నమాట. So what is eta 1? Eta 2 already calculated. What is eta 1? Eta 1 equal to mu naught mu r1 divided by epsilon naught epsilon r1. This is the formula, which is nothing but mu by epsilon. What is mu? Mu naught into mu r. So this is going to be 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 into mu r1 is given as 1 and epsilon naught is equal to 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 and epsilon r1 is equal to 8.5 under root. So I will give this value. You can check your answer with this value. So this value is going to be 129.22 ohms. 129.22 ohms. So this is nothing but eta 1. And what is eta 2? Eta 2 is equal to 377 ohms. Now what he asked to find? He determined the amplitudes of reflected and transmitted fields. So what is the reflected field? Is going to be ER. And what is the transmitted field? ET. So he asked to find what are the values of ER and ET. And what he has given? EI. He has given EI. Now to find this ER and ET, we have to find that small tau and capital tau. There is transmission coefficient and reflection coefficient that we have to find out. So what is small tau? Small tau is the transmission coefficient whose value is ET by EI. Whose value is ET by EI. And what is the tau? Small tau. Its value is going to be 2 eta 2 by eta 1 plus eta 2. So its value is going to be 2 into what is eta 2? 377 divided by 129.22 plus 377. 129.22 plus 377. So now what is the value? ET by EI is equal to, I will give this value. Its value is going to be 1.4894. 1.4894. So it's simply a ratio. It won't have any units. Next, what is ET? ET is equal to EI into 1.4894. What is EI? EI is given as 1.5. So this is 1.5 into 1.4894 and the answer will be 2.2341. 2.2341 millivolts per meter. This is the transmission field value. This is the value. ET is equal to 2.2341 millivolt per meter. So we found ET. Next, what do you have to find? We have to find ER. That is reflected wave field intensity, that ER we have to find. So what is the relation between ER by EI? Which is nothing but, capital tau, which is called reflection coefficient, reflection coefficient, and its value is nothing but eta 2 minus eta 1 by eta 1 or eta 2 plus eta 1. So what is eta 2? Eta 2 is 377 minus eta 1 is equal to 120.22, 29.22 divided by 377 plus 129.22. So what is the value? What is the value? You will get 0.4894. Its value is 0.4894. So my capital tau is nothing but ER by EI is equal to 0.4894. So now what is ER? ER is going to be 0.4894 into 1.5 into EI. So its value is 0.7341 volt per meter. 0.7341 millivolt per meter. 0.7341 millivolt per meter. Check. 7341 millivolt per meter. Now, so what he asked? He asked the fields. So what we have found? We have found electric field only. So what we have to find? We have to find the magnetic field also. So what is HR? What is HR? I will rub this and I will write it here. So what is HR is going to be? HR is going to be ER by eta 2. ER by eta 2. So what is ER? ER I got as 0.7341 and divided by what is eta 2? Eta 2 is 377 ohms. So it will give the value of so milli is there. Don't forget this millivolt. So it is 10 to the power of minus 3 millivolts you have to write. So 0.7341 millivolts divided by 377 will give now eta 2 will be, so it is not HR. Eta 2 ante second region lo unnedi HT. So HT, not HR. So HT value enta ostadi? HT will be positive and its value will be, anduku mundu ET value enta calculate chesamu. What is ET? ET is equal to 2.2341. 2.2341 milli minus 3 divided by eta 2, that is 377. So its value is going to be 5.9259. 5.9259 microamp per meter. Micro అంటే ఎంత వస్తుంది? ఇంటూ 10 to the power of minus 6 ampere per meter. ఇది magnetic field value. You check with this answer. Next, what is HR? HR is equal to minus ER by eta 1. ఎందుకని? Reverse reflected wave will be always, it will have negative value. So this is going to be, what is ER? Minus and ER is equal to 0.7341 into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by what is eta 1? We got 129.22. So what is the answer? Minus 5.681 microampere per meter. Micro means 10 to the power of minus 6. So this is the problem regarding this dielectric boundary.